Europe and the United States have been close allies for decades, but recently they didn't exactly agree on everything. So, are they still allies or is something quietly changing? To understand this, we need bit of a context. After World War II, Europe was in no position to defend itself. Economies were weak, military were reduced, and new threats from the East were emerging. And that's when the United States steps in, with a financial aid and a long-term security guarantees. This led to creation of NATO with a simple rule: if one member attacked, all will respond. A simple idea but with very serious consequences. Today, Europe is much stronger, its economies are stable, its militaries are modern, and its patience for being told what to do is thinner. In recent situations involving Iran, countries like France, Germany, and United Kingdom didn't back the military actions. Instead, they pushed for the diplomacy. Not because they support Iran, but because they calculated the risk differently. Which is a polite way of saying, this is not a war of Europe. And there are few reasons for this. First, NATO is defensive. It applies when member is attacked and not every time when Washington decides to act first. Second, Europe's priorities are different. Energy supply, trade routes, and regional stability, these hits European voters directly. And third, Europe has been quietly building its own foreign policy identity for years. The European Union now coordinates diplomatic positions, sometimes independently of the US. Not fully independent, but no longer automatically aligned either. Despite these differences, the alliance isn't broken. Europe and the United States still share intelligence, coordinate militarily, and operate together inside the NATO every single day. In fact, several European countries have significantly raised their defense budget, not just to meet the NATO targets, but to reduce the long-term reliance on the American guarantees. And that's where it gets interesting from the US side. When allies consistently opt out of key decisions, it raises a fair question. The alliance is reliable in theory, but how reliable it is in practice? The real change is this: Europe doesn't want to follow the United States automatically anymore. It wants a seat at the table, not just a role in executing someone else's decision. That's not a breakup, but it's not the relationship from the 1950 either. So yes, they are still allies, just more complicated than before. So what do you think? Are these just normal disagreements or the beginning of deeper cracks inside the NATO? Let me know that in the comment section, and if you find this video interesting, make sure to like, share and subscribe.